Hello everyone, this is Abhishek Saraf. I have secured All India Rank 8 in UPSC's Civil Service Exam of 2019. This talk is part of the Unheard series of Civils Daily IAS. In this talk, we will be covering my strategy to clear the prelims, to prepare for the prelims and attempt the exam. So without much further ado, let's begin. These are the brief details about my profile, my previous service experience, my graduation subject and previous research experience that I had. Before starting the preparation of this exam, I was involved in research, and these are the brief notes about that. This is the previous results of mine. So what I am trying to depict from this slide is that you can prepare at such a level that you clear the cutoff by a margin of 30 to 35 marks. This is the mark sheet of 2017 prelims. The cutoff that year was about 107 marks. Similarly, this is the mark sheet of 2018. The cutoff that year was about 97 marks. The idea behind these two is that you can prepare at such a level that you will be performing to ensure that you clear the cutoff by 30 to 35 marks. What is the purpose of that? What is the purpose of devoting such time to preparation? The idea is that you can walk into the exam room with a confidence that this year, on this day, with a different paper, with a different day, I would have cleared the exam still. It does not have to be a matter of luck. It does not have to be this phobia, this hauwa that people have in their mind that prelims can go either way. No matter you are a selected candidate, prelims can go either way. It does not have to necessarily work that way. My idea was that preparing so thoroughly that you clear the exam with a massive cutoff. Right after you write the exam, you tally your answers with any reputed institute's answer key. You search the expected cutoff based on discussion groups, and then you find out that, okay, you are 20 to 25 marks above the cutoff, expected cutoff. So you can relax for a couple of days, completely remove the fear of clearing prelims or not from your mind. And then after a couple of days, you can start preparing for mains single-mindedly without any self-doubt. What happens is that if you have a doubt, repeatedly your brain will go to those questions that were controversial. You will keep on Google searching them. You will find research papers. You will find XYZ books that have an answer or a statement or a paragraph that is favorable to the answer that you have marked. And then you will participate in discussion groups. You will prove other people wrong in the hopes that, okay, this person's answer is wrong, so my answer is right, so probably I'll clear the prelims, I'll make the cutoff. But you never know what UPSC's answer key is going to be on controversial questions. It might be aligned with your answer, might not align with your answer. So this kind of constant worry that goes on in a candidate's brain after he or she has written the prelims, this can be removed by preparing at the level, following the kind of strategy that I did. So let us get into that. This is the basic crux of my strategy. I ensured that I did 6,000 MCQ questions all the year round before the prelims. Suppose the prelims is in June. In 2019, the prelims was on 2nd June. So from 2nd June 2019 through 2nd June 2018, my strategy was to solve 6,000 MCQs. Then there is the standard book list that has been mentioned in various blogs or various toppers interviews. Standard book list has been mentioned. You don't have to deviate from it. There is not much that has to be done innovatively for the prelims as far as the book list and the sources go. It is pretty standard. You don't have to worry about it. Just go with what plenty of toppers have mentioned. Then what I did differently was that I made my own notes for current affairs. I did not go for any XYZ compilation that comes a couple of months before the exam and claims to be covering the entire year's current affairs. No, you make your own notes. Why did I say that? See, the idea is that, at least for me, the way it worked was that the faster I studied something, the lesser I retained it. For the lesser amount of time I retained it. It entered my short-term memory and evaporated that quickly. But if you are studying something slowly, with peace, with patience, you will internalize it. You will be able to recall it longer. You will be able to use it in different contexts. Some things that you studied in mains might be useful in prelims and also the other way around. Although my strategy for studying for prelims and mains was separate, even though the book list is same, but some content gets interchanged. So the idea is that the slower you study, the longer you retain. And that is why I made my own notes. Because if I try to study one XYZ compilation, study 70 to 80 pages of news in one day, and try to do 7 to 8 such booklets before the exam, before 1 month before the exam, then what might happen is that I might feel that I have a pretty good coverage of current affairs. But what will happen is that I will not be able to internalize those things so well. I might recall options vaguely in the exam that, oh, this thing seems like something I've read. But what will happen is that I might recall vaguely, I might recall wrongly, I might end up marking the wrong option. So instead of doing benefit, this compilation or this strategy of reading compilations might backfire. So I relied on my own notes. Then there are some short notes that have to be prepared. That is a collection of factual information. Even see the standard books like Rajiv Aisar's Spectrum book for modern history. It is a splendid book. It covers modern history very nicely. It is in the form of notes. But sometimes some small factual information has to be collected in the form of a single A4 sheet. For example, publications by various people, by various nationalist leaders. That XYZ nationalist leader edited XYZ publication. If you have this list of publications made on an A4 page, that this leader, this publication, this leader, this publication. This kind of material makes for a very powerful source of revision at the last minute. Similarly, this act was passed in this year, this law was passed in this year, this Governor General passed this law, this initiative was taken by this leader. These things, these kind of things, if you make them yourself, if the need arises, you make them yourself, or you can get PDFs online. These kind of things make for very powerful sources of revision, and they help to internalize things in your short-term memory. Otherwise, what will happen is that you will have a voluminous material, you will have a thick book. That book is also 300-400 pages, and you will keep on flipping through those books. Prelims is an exam of factual things. Prelims is an exam of short-term memory. You will end up flipping through a lot of material, and that will not be so productive use of time to internalize things in the short-term memory. So I would advise you to make short notes, collection of small factoids of information that will be useful. So let us get into the book list. What I did was, like I said, I followed a standard book list. There is not much innovation or different things that have to be done with the book list. Just follow them, revise them multiple times, make notes out of them if need arises. Just follow them and do them by heart. For ancient India, it was Sri Ram Charan Sharma's old NCERT book. It is a splendid book. It will help you in mains as well as prelims. And if need arises, if question arises, you can use the content in interview as well, but that is a different discussion. Then for medieval India, Satish Chandra Sir's book, Old NCERT. This book has to be done selectively. And it has been written so splendidly that as soon as you read this book, read the contents of this book, you will realize what chapters are relevant, what chapters are not. It has been said that wars, queens, kings, these things are not relevant. There are specific chapters in this book which emphasize on the economic history, cultural history of things. Those chapters are very intuitive, that you, as soon as you read the title of the chapter, you will understand, okay, this chapter is relevant. So read those chapters only. So this book has to be done selectively, this book has to be done thoroughly. Then Modern India Spectrum, Rajiv Aisar's book, standard book, cover to cover has to be read. Do not ignore the last few chapters, last few part of this book, that they are part of the mains. Sometimes analytical questions are also asked as part of objective questions in the prelims. Then there are tables of which session of Congress was headed by which leader, which publication was brought out by which leader. These kind of tables are very relevant. Then which tribe was present in which region, why did they revolt. These kind of chapters are relevant for both prelims as well as mains. But when you are preparing for either prelims or mains, keep in mind the kind of content that you have to pick up from that very same source. This is very important. Please understand the requirement of the exam. This same book has to be read differently for prelims as well as for mains. For prelims, you have to focus on factual things. For mains, you have to focus on analytical things, and the factual information that you can collect from this book or that you can recall from your preparation for prelims will be used to substantiate the whatever argument you make. whatever analysis you make will be supported by the facts that you pick up from this book in mains. But in prelims, you don't have a choice. Whatever fact is asked, you have to answer it. As simple as that. So recognize the pattern of the exam, recognize the requirement of whatever stage you are attempting, and then read the sources appropriately. For geography, it is pretty straightforward, not much has to be done. Class 9 to class 12 new NCERTs. Please don't take NCERTs lightly. Splendid books. They are very absolutely splendid books, very relevant sources for the preparation for prelims, mains or interview as far as geography goes. And then in this also I would emphasize that do go through the NCERTs. 6th, 7th, 8th NCERT, then themes book. Very nice books, very easy to finish, very small content. Sometimes relevant content appears directly in the exam, either for prelims or for mains. It won't take much of your time. Much of the time will be spent on these sources only, but do go through the NCERTs. Then for polity, it goes without saying, this book. It is like the Bible for polity. Then sometimes questions appear which are not even in this book. They are mostly what has happened in the news. If you have read this book thoroughly and some topic comes in the news that you think you don't have enough content in this book to understand the background of it, then what you can do is Google search. Go to Wikipedia. Read the first para. As simple as that. Read the first para. It will provide you background. That is why I said either blogs or YouTube channels or online searches to understand the background of the topics that appear for polity in the news that might not be covered in Lakshmikant. In that context, I would like to mention that I have been using Civils Daily's website for years, and that background that they cover for whatever news article appears, that is very relevant for prelims. What I used to do is that if there is a news article, it discusses what the current situation is, those notes go to the mains, and whatever the background is, that goes to the prelims. That is how I used to make my own notes. Then for economy, this book is a standard book, but this is a kind of book that a beginner has to read for understanding the basic concepts. Once you know the basic things, the terminology that keeps on coming in the news, once you understand that, you don't have to revise this book. Just keep it for reference. Or those standard terminology, whatever terms are relevant for those before the prelims, you can go and have a look. For example, what is CPI? How many types of CPI are there? Which branch of the government releases which CPI? So these things can be revised. Time and again they do come in the exam. And same thing about internet searches, blogs, as I mentioned here. Same thing will happen here as well. Some new thing comes which you think has not been covered in this book. Do Google search, go to blogs, go to various websites, go to YouTube channels and understand. Participate in discussion groups like the upcoming Habitat initiative of Civils Daily. So participate in those groups, ask a mentor. It is pretty straightforward. Then there is a syllabus-wise book list as I was covering. For environment, this is a pretty standard book. Then there are same online sources, the same way you have to use as you use them for polity and economy. In this book, I would like to advise that if you are a beginner, read this book thoroughly. If you are in advanced stages, how I did was that if you understand the basic concepts, after that you don't have to revise every basic concept for every time you are attempting for prelims. Start this book if you are revising from prelims. If you are revising for prelims, start this book from the back side. The beginner might read it from the front for understanding things, for getting initiated. But if you are a senior player who has attempted prelims a couple of times, then start this book from the back side. Because these days, conventions, reports, these things have become much more relevant rather than the basic idea of food web or food chain, which is covered in the initial parts of this book. Static topics are not being asked nowadays in environment. So cover the basic dynamic topics like International Tropical Timber Organization or traffic. The traffic question on traffic did come a couple of years ago. So that was given in this book, and people were wondering that how did that happen? Where did that come from? So these are the things that you have to be thoroughly conversed with, and these are given at the back of this book. So that is how I did. For art and culture, see, this is like a wild card. You may know the question, you may not know the question. So in my humble opinion, investing too much time on studying art and culture, studying this book, that compilation, those notes, going to CCRT website, these things you can do if you have the time, but I would assign personally that the cost benefit of this is not very favorable. So keep your sources limited, revise them periodically, many number of times. This is what I did. I used Nitin Singhania sir's handwritten notes, not his book, handwritten notes only. Online sources for Google Images and a few blogs, a few YouTube channels, so that I'm able to develop familiarity with what is written in this book. That's it. No other source. I don't go to XYZ website and start reading new material for art and culture. The cost benefit is not that favorable. After that, current affairs. I already told that I made my own notes. I made notes digitally. I made notes on Evernote. And when the time came, when I wanted to prepare for prelims in the last 1 or 2 months, I used to print those notes and then study them in hard copy format. That is how I did current affairs. In science and technology, once again, see, there are two levels of candidates who are from technical background, so they are quite well versed with science and technology concepts, so they don't need as much effort. Those who are from arts and commerce background, who might not be as familiar with technical concepts, what I would advise them to do is that there are several websites or blogs you can follow, but the point is that UPSC is not asking 11th, 12th class NCERT type of questions in science and technology these days. What is coming is from current affairs. So what I would advise the candidates who want to start from scratch is that, first of all, review the previous year's question papers of UPSC. Collect a list of topics that has been covered through questions in science and technology. You will find topics like nanotechnology, biotechnology, gene editing, or things like that. Once you make a list of these things, go to Google. Go to Google, do Google searches, understand the definition of those things that you might find in news periodically, but you might not understand what they exactly are. For example, you will find terms like geosynchronous satellites, geostationary satellites, PSLV, GSLV. These things will come in news almost every week. If you don't understand what they exactly are, just go to Wikipedia, read the first couple of paragraphs, understand them, and you will be done with them. Then start making your notes out of current affairs, and then just like any other current affair material, revise those notes. You just have to develop a familiarity with the topics that are covered by UPSC most of the time in the questions of science and technology. And after you develop that familiarity, you can update your knowledge with whatever is coming in the news. And if you don't understand the new term that comes in the news, just do a Google search, update yourself. You don't need to understand or recall or remember those basic things of 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th class. These things are not being asked these days. So kindly don't invest your time in that. So I repeatedly emphasize that I made my own notes. I did not go for compilations. So the idea is, how do you even read the newspaper if you are going to make your own notes? First thing that I would like to emphasize is that keep an eye out for prelims worthy material. What do I mean by prelims worthy material? The material that might be converted into questions in the prelims exam. How do you understand what is prelims worthy material? You review the previous year's question papers. As soon as you review the previous year's question papers, you mug up the syllabus of the mains and the prelims. As soon as you see that relevant material appearing in the news, it should hit you in your brain that, okay, this thing can be made into a question, let me note it down in case you decide to make your own notes. That is what I did. All the year round, keep an eye out for prelims worthy material. For example, I am reading an international relations article. It is written that Arab Spring started in so and so country in so and so year. Immediately it should hit me that, okay, this thing might become a question right away. So I will put it in my prelims notes. Raqqa is located in so and so country. Any time of the year it comes in news. Any year UPSC can ask that in which country this city is located. It also did with Mazar-e Sharif and Afghanistan a couple of years ago. So these things you have to tone your brain to understand what kind of questions from news can be converted into UPSC questions, what kind of things can be converted into UPSC questions during the exam and start collecting or keep on collecting these small factoids in your prelims notes. I made notes for prelims and mains separately. Like I said, the same content has to be read differently for prelims and mains. Spectrum has to be read differently for prelims as well as mains. So current affairs notes will also be made differently. So the thing is that you can keep an eye out in whatever current affairs you are reading, whatever website you are covering. You can keep an eye out for the prelims worthy material and put these things in your own notes. Then what I did was I used several websites like Civils Daily, these online sources to cover my current affairs news, both editorials as well as daily current affairs news. What I did was I used to first cover these websites, cover those editorials and daily current affairs news, then shift to the PDF of newspapers. What it helped me with is that it reduced my effort, and the content hosted on these websites is already in the form of notes. So you can trim it down very quickly. It reduces your effort and you don't have to go through the raw text of that article, whether it is from Hindu or Indian Express or whatever newspaper you read. So that reduces your effort. So that is what I did. I used online sources. And then I mentioned that you have to do 6,000 MCQ questions all the year round. They don't have to be completely test series done in the last couple of months before the prelims. What you can do is that several websites host questions from daily current affairs or static topics. You can keep doing those questions, 5-6 questions a day. I did 15 questions a day from 3 websites. And then whatever question you get wrong, you make a single one-liner note and put them in your Evernote notebook. That is what I did. And through collective cumulative effort of all these all the year round, I made a bank or a note which had single liner notes. And I printed them out a couple of months before the exam, 1 month before the exam, depending on how much time I am devoting. And I kept those things open on my table and I would read them whenever I was walking around in my room. That is how you use your short-term memory to revise the questions that you solved all the year round to ensure that you remember them at the day of the exam. Then there are several blogs and YouTube channels that can be used for covering current affairs. I use these 2 newspapers and websites like Civils Daily. Now, knowing the relevant content, you will review the previous year's question paper. I already mentioned that. Then, if you are in a trouble to understand what is relevant or not, in the initial months, the beginners, they might feel overwhelmed with the information that is flowing. So you can use initiatives in which there are mentors, like websites in which people are guiding each other, or the Habitat initiative where there are mentors who can help you by intervening at strategic points. You can reach out to them, you can seek guidance. There is already some discussion that has been done. You can access that discussion. These things will help you streamline your preparation. Now the idea is how to make notes from the newspapers. See, what I did was I made my own notes. There are several people you will find that they say that there is no point in making notes. Institutions and coachings are already providing compilations. But I made my own notes. I made it very clear. The idea was that you make your own notes. You become familiar with the subjects. You interlink them. That helps you in mains. You learn them slowly. That stays with you longer. You tend to make less mistakes. If you are studying the newspaper daily, making your own notes, you are internalizing things better. That will help you solve the quizzes better. If you are solving the quizzes better, if you are making your own notes, then the compilation of one-pointer notes that I made from those quizzes, the volume of that will shrink. That will help you in the 1 month before the prelims. Got the point? So, like I mentioned, that you have to know what is relevant. Don't keep collecting garbage in your notes or in your room, or worse still, in your brain. Purge what is not relevant from your room and from your brain and from your notes. For that, the best guide is the previous year questions. Then there are test papers. Read toppers' blogs. They clearly explain what is to be done, what is not to be done, what is to be studied, what kind of things are to be ignored in the newspaper right away. Be very clinical about it. Structure notes in notebooks on the pattern of the previous year's questions. What I mean by that is that there is standard topics that is covered, either history, geography, polity, economy, culture, environment, science and tech, and current affairs. This is all that is covered. This is all that is asked. So these are the 4 things that you absolutely must attempt to get right. These are the 4 things that will ensure that you score high, and these are sort of the wild cards this year. And this, if as per my strategy, if you are making notes, if you are internalizing things, if you are sincere with this can become a very scoring things. This can become a very scoring aspect in both your mains and prelims. So these things are wild card. Very random questions are coming in the last few years from environment. You might not have even heard the name of that organization, it pops up. So somehow you have to guess. In culture, there is no limit, and it is just mugging up with some relation, but it is mostly mugging up. So don't try to get most marks in these things. Try to maximize your score in this. Try to maximize your score in current affairs. That is what my strategy was, and for that, for current affairs, you will need to know what is relevant. And for that, you will review the previous question papers, test papers, or quizzes. Doing quizzes constantly helps you streamline your reading newspaper. Suppose if a quiz question pops up on a website, and then it shows you something that you had missed, and then it gives you a link to that article, and then you go back and look at that article and you realize, okay, these are the things that I should be keeping an eye out. These are the things that I should be focusing on whenever I read such an article the next time. And that is how you iteratively learn to pick up relevant material from the newspaper. Then I have already said that I use separate notes for prelims and mains. Even though the finally content of booklet might be same that you are studying for prelims and mains, but I said that prelims has a factual orientation, mains has an analytical orientation. In prelims, facts are the question. In mains, facts are used to support your argument. So I made separate notes for prelims and mains. Otherwise, what will happen is that if you make combined notes for prelims and mains, you print them before the exam. First, they will become massively voluminous. So you will spend your time flipping through the pages, skipping over things that are analytical, trying to sift or separate the things that are factual for prelims, that are relevant for prelims, and that will waste your time. In prelims, you have to rely on short-term memory. In prelims, you have to revise a lot of factoids before the exam. You can't waste time while sorting out what is relevant for prelims or what is relevant for mains from one voluminous printout. Then there is different information even from the same article that has to be collected for prelims and mains. Let me give you an example. Suppose they are talking about Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now there is an editorial which says what is the relevance of Shanghai Cooperation Organization in today's world. Okay, it is talking about India, Pakistan, China, whatever. But the first couple of lines of the editorial will give you the background of what is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Why was it formed? When was India included? When was Pakistan included? What are the members? So this thing will go in your prelims notes. And relevance today, that will go in your mains notes. That is what you have to understand. That same editorial can give you content for prelims as well as mains, and you have to separate them. Otherwise, you will make this big note in which first line is about relevance, second line is about the background, and then you will print it into a booklet and keep on revising and sifting through the content. You might miss some content that way that was relevant for prelims while you were sifting. So that is why I emphasize that make different notes. Understand what info is relevant from a single article for prelims or for mains, and then you will collect that relevant info, put it in your notes. There are certain topics that are asked only in prelims, like which organization publishes which report, what is the theme of which conference, which countries are involved in which military exercise, what are the weapons which are used, which have been tested in the previous years. These things you can use in your answers to enrich your answers, but it is not mandatory that you know XYZ organization's XYZ report. You can support your answer from a different report as well, but that is for mains. But in prelims, you don't have a choice. If they ask who publishes World Economic Outlook report, you have to know. So these things have to be understood, that there is certain content which is relevant only for prelims. It might not even be relevant for mains. This you will understand by previous year questions, and you will make separate notes for those. You will print those notes out, you will paste them on your wall, you will keep them open on your table, keep on revising them. These things are to be put in the short-term memory. You cannot expect to remember all these things all the year round, but you have to keep an eye out in whatever you are reading to make those notes all the year round. That is what I did. Mains is analytical, prelims is factual. Facts like these get covered. That is what I've already told. Then this is a personal thing for me. I was not very good at making very short, concise and pithy notes in the first go. My notes in the first go tended to be a little bit voluminous, a little bit bulky. But then you made notes from Monday to Friday to Saturday, and then Sunday is when the newspaper is relatively less bulky. So you can spend that time to revise the notes that you have made all the week round and trim them down a little bit. Once you are comfortable with the material, you can trim down the notes iteratively. So this will condense the volume of your notes. Revising will help you internalize better. Then for the people who are working, they might not have the luxury to sit down for 2 hours in that morning and read the newspaper and make notes. So for those people, technology will be an ally. They can read, they can carry their laptop around wherever they go, they can carry their phone around wherever they go and make notes on the go. Technology like phones, laptops, tablets, as well as digital notes on Evernote. I told I made digital notes on Evernote. They can be very helpful to use every small bit of scrap of time you get. Wherever there is a coffee break in office, you can study one editorial, make those notes. Then wherever you get stuck, it is advisable to seek guidance from friends, peers, mentors, discussion groups, online chat groups like the initiative of Habitat. That is quite helpful. So don't try to be bullheaded in your effort, try to streamline your efforts, try to get strategic interventions in your efforts at the right time. Like I mentioned, that different books have to be read, same books have to be read differently for prelims and mains. You have to make notes selectively. Let me emphasize on that. Why do we even make notes? The purpose of making notes is that, one, it lets you retain the essence of you read, but reduce the volume of what you read. How will this help? It is quite obvious. When you are revising for the exam, you will have small volume of material which will enable you to revise 300 pages, maybe 30-40 pages of material that will enable you to revise 300 pages. That will increase your speed. And like I mentioned, prelims is an exam of short-term memory. You have to condense a lot of material into short, dense material. That's where note making will come in. Then there is another thing that if you make notes yourself, you will internalize things. And during the pressure situation of exam, prelims or mains or interview, what you internalize, what is in your core, only that gets reproduced. So making notes helps you internalize things better. Then, although it is relevant for mains, but the idea is that you have to use a lot of diagrams and flow charts. So what you have internalized gets converted into diagrams and flow charts. That helps you better. I have mentioned that collect factoids in prelims notes for the last month, last minute, 1 minute revision. These are the factoids that have to be stored in the short-term memory that you cannot commit to your memory for all the year round. Like the ones that I just mentioned, that I just showed, that these weapons, exercises, themes, you cannot recall all the themes all the year round. You have to put them in short-term, in pithy notes so that you can revise in the last month, last minute or last day. Similarly, I'll give you an example. The NCERT geography book, it has chapters on water resources of India, like which river originates where does it flow, which gorge does it cut, where does the 5 Panjnath rivers meet, and resources on minerals, which mineral is found where, which crop is grown where, what are the conditions and the environment that is needed for which crop. You can't mug up these things so that they remain in your brain all the year round. You have to commit these to short-term memory. For that, you need to make notes. You need to make short pithy notes and use them to revise these things within a matter of minutes. You can either convert them into a small booklet, keep that booklet open on your table, or you can paste things on the wall, print them out and paste things on the wall. These are the two techniques that I followed. Like I mentioned, then themes, national parks, wildlife resources, biosphere reserves, wetlands, these things, these are value addition material in mains, but you can use the name of one wetland if you don't know the name of particular wetland. But in prelims where things are factoid based, factual information, there you have to know these things. Then once again, you will understand what relevant material is there by reviewing the previous year questions. Now, if there is a name of Kaziranga National Park in the news and you are a beginner, so Google it, read the first paragraph of Wikipedia, you'll find something about it. Put them in your notes. These things can come in news every time, anytime. And these things come in news yearly, at least yearly. There are floods every year in Assam. So these things will help you in your subsequent attempts, or if you need subsequent attempts. So these are the things that should be done.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from Civils Daily.